Well, it's a frosty morning, January 2nd. I was hoping to find a big project for this year, and it rolled into the garage yesterday. So even though it's cold out here, we're gonna take a look at this and maybe get started. But come on, I'll show you. So this is the new project. A customer brought me this yesterday on New Year's Day, and they picked it up in western Massachusetts. They want to refinish it. They don't want it to look original, and that's kind of good because I don't think we'll get to that point, but it has a lot of features, but they also want to add something. Up top it has the bin for flour, and they want to replace this with a new bin because they want to use it for actual flour. They want to make this a baking center. Over here they want to do the sugar. They used to sell a sugar sifter or a container, and they want to see if we can't purchase one of those and install it right up in this cabinet, even if we lose this shelf. So I'm not sure how big those things are, but we'll see what we can do there. This would just be storage. The top is enameled metal, and we're going to see if we can clean that up some, but they kind of like the look of the worn, the worn look. You can see here it's kind of worn. Down here we have a drawer that's in sad shape. This needs some serious attention. Underneath will be cooking pans or baking pots or something, and they got a piece of linoleum down here, which was a quick fix everybody went through in the 40s. Another drawer here that needs help. The drawers aren't really fastened in correctly, but you can see how this is really worn here, and they like that look, so that's kind of good. I'll have to sand the paint off, but this was a bread drawer, and they want it to be another bread drawer, and this is all metal. There's a slot up here, so they must have a top that slides over. And you can purchase these things new, so I'm going to get the measurements on this and see if I can't order a new one that's in good shape, where you wouldn't mind putting bread in. So that'll be an easy fix. And then the bottom drawer is just a bottom drawer. It seems to be the best condition of all the drawers. This one here, someone has put a piece of, looks like a 1x4 or something on the back, and then fastened it underneath with nails. The back must have been falling out, and it was just a quick fix. It's definitely a cabinet that's well used. Underneath this top, on the bottom is stamped, I think it's TEPCO, and the date of 1937. But I don't know if that's the manufacturer of the enamel top only, or if that's the manufacturer of the whole unit. So I'm hoping to find someone who can tell me more about this, because I'm clueless. I did read that sometimes the tops don't match the bottoms. When you find these, people salvage one or the other and mix and match them. But this appears to match. You can see the detail on the corners. Top is rounded off. And then on the bottom, it has a similar detail. So my guess is, it's all together. Top and bottom are original, which is good. The top there's a veneer up here, and it's kind of toasted, so that's going to need some work. It's put together with nails, which is interesting. I don't see a lot of staples. So we're going to clean it up, sand it down, repaint it, add new hardware. I'm not sure how old these hinges are, but they're going to get replaced. Handles will get replaced. Those aren't new. That might be an original hinge. I don't know. The actual Hoosier brand used to put their initials on the latches for the doors. But these latches here, these are just like a spring-loaded latch. And I don't think that's original, but I don't know. I know very little about these, so I'm hoping that if someone out there sees it, they can feed me some information about maybe what I have here. But in any case, that's this year's project. So we got to get started on it. On the base, there are these little metal things put in here, which suggests that there were casters on this unit at one time. There is some damage to the legs, and the veneer here has started coming up. A piece is broken off, probably from after the wheels were gone, probably from sliding it back and forth on the floor. So I'll have to replace some of this veneer just to smooth it out. Again, this is going to be sanded and painted, so I'm not too concerned about matching the wood veneer with the correct species, just getting it smooth. Here's the other side over here. You can see it. On the back, I'm finding this piece here is split. This has got a groove cut into it for the back. So I'm gonna have to come up with a solution for fixing that. It comes all the way, the piece comes all the way down and forms the leg. So I'll have to, make a cut here or something and put in a thin piece just to cover that and hold it in. Same situation down here where it snapped off. I'm not sure why that did that right there, but maybe we can figure that out. The original bracket is here. Well, I took a couple days and I did a little bit of research on this, and based on what I'm seeing in on websites and in catalogs, that this appears to be made by the company called Sellers and Sons. I'm basing that on the style of hinges that are on the doors and the little trim work along the top of the unit and then down along the sides underneath. I still can't find anything on that TEPCO other than there were some catalogs for enamel top tables. So I'm guessing then that the top you see here is manufactured by TEPCO, obviously, and they were probably just supplying these companies with the tops, and that's it. I would still welcome any tips on this if somebody knows something about this, and I'm sure there's people out there that know a lot more than I do on it. Um, I've sent for a catalog, so I can order parts. I suppose I could do it offline, but I kind of like a hard copy, and and then we'll go from there. I'll start the process of disassembling and doing the necessary repairs, and then we can choose hardware to go back on. I think it's going to turn out pretty nice. The customer's going to pick out paint colors, and um, I'm unsure about the flower bins. Briefly in the online catalog, I did not see the flower bins, so I suppose I have to check another company and see if I can't get a new one. I'd be reluctant to dump flour into what I see as a nasty looking cabinet. So in any event, this is the new project, and once we get going, I'll start filming it, and then at some point this year we'll see a finished video. So thanks for taking the time to watch this, and again, if anyone knows anything about it, drop me a note below, and have a great day. So here we are. It's November 17th in the same year, and we finished the cabinet. It's ready to move out, and I think the customer is really going to like it. It was a long haul, and I'm going to go over detail by detail what I've done to it, but I'm kind of hoping that they like this, and that they can kind of move on. They'll figure out what they want to do with it, and then they can pick away at other repairs and replacements as time goes on. So this is basically the front you're looking at, and now we're going to go to the side. You can see the side. I rebuilt a lot down near the legs here, and I'll explain that to you in the next clips. But boy, it was a tough job. I'm surprised that this thing wasn't just trashed. But in any event, it wasn't. So let me detail what I've done here. I'll start at the top. The original case had a 1/4-inch piece of plywood in here, and it had been subjected to water, I guess, quite a bit. All of the veneers were pulling apart. It was just not worth saving. And the new customer wants to pile things up here, maybe books or pots or something, so I needed something hefty. So I cut a piece of 1/2-inch Baltic birch, and I fit that in here. So now you can pretty much stand on the top of this, and that will, that'll hold up. As I said before, they're not going for a complete restoration, same as what it was new. They just want this thing usable. So I got that. I got 1 coat of paint on it all. Well, I got a coat of primer and then a coat of paint, but I expect it to get scratched in shipment. So we'll have to do the second coat once it's in its final resting place. Inside the top, it just, up here was just basically scraping down grease. And boy, do I mean grease. And cleaning up as best I could. Some of the stuff here was just impossible to get off. You can still see the remnants of the different hardware pieces that they used. It looks like these are the original hinges, but the handles are not. And in fact, I took so much paint off that the handles that they wanted, the screws now kind of stick out just a little bit. And before, this was just solid coats of paint, and that, you know, that wasn't happening. So it's kind of strange. There's the other side, just simple storage. This is the flower bin. I think most of the units had it. There was, I don't even know where to start. There was flour caked in there from God knows when. And I tried going over it with a pick. I tried running the inside parts through a dishwasher 3 times. It took all of that to get the flour out of there. And from what I'm reading, they're recommending that you don't put flour back in this. I'm not sure what the solder was made out of, and it's probably not food grade. In any event, it works. It's just I wouldn't use it. So, down here, they wanted the paint stripped off, and I clear coated this to prevent rust. You know, it works, but it's there for looks. So it'll be a nice like coffee station or something, and then this enamel top slides out. And what I did was I reversed it because the other side had nicks in the enamel. So I had to fiddle around with the piece of the slides underneath, and I reversed them all. And now it's, you know, it looks pretty good up front. And there was a layer of grease on here that you could have taken up with a putty knife. It was nasty. So that just slides out for more space and then back in. Down below, this drawer, this was just unbelievable. I had to replace the sides and the bottom. And on the bottom, on the original drawer, they had completely worn down through, you know, this layer of the shelf. This I added for extra support. The piece underneath here, I actually reversed, and the drawer had eaten about this much into that stick over the years. So they must have piled something really heavy in there. And in doing so, all of that friction back and forth had worn a hole right through this. So I had to replace that bottom. I also had to put a slide on the side here because there was none there, and it was just, you know, banging around in there. This drawer was a complete rebuild. There was nothing left to it. It was toast. And again, there were slides missing in there. It looked like someone had taken a hammer in there and just banged them out. So that's a new drawer. This was the bread drawer. The new owner had thoughts of reusing it, but it took me 3 coats of stripper to get the spray paint that they had put on there, and even then I couldn't get it. And I was scraping and sanding and stripping and back and forth. And when this came to me, it did not have the slide top on it. So we decided that I would get it as clean as we could. And I put a couple coats of enameled spray on there, like for appliance enamel. And then they're going to order a new one that will just fit right in there. And it will be clean, new, and it'll have the top and everything. So down here, this drawer was probably the only piece that was still intact. I had to re-nail some of the sides, threw some glue on it and stuff, but that's usable. So the feet, as you saw earlier in the video, the ends of the feet were destroyed. I actually had to use body filler to reshape all of that. And then I put a couple of the slide feet on the bottom. So And then the sides are, they kind of look the same. It's a nice cabinet, and I think it'll serve them well, but it certainly won't be all original, and they're okay with that. So it will take another coat of paint to cover the little dings and everything from the process. But in the back, I left the back on the original back. On the top, you can see it was kind of damaged up here, but I just re-nailed it. And then on the bottom, where the drawers had been shoved in, they had kicked this piece out and ripped off that edge. And this would have required replacing this whole corner leg. So the customer was happy with just reattaching the back and then just kind of sanding the rough edges off and just threw some paint on it. And I did the same thing over there. This top bar here had come apart, so that's all reattached. So like you can see here, you can see the back of the top. You can see the enameled chips. So right now it's a functional cabinet, and they're going to use it and then see how they like it, and what they want to replace, and they'll kind of use this as a jumping off point. So when it came here, it was literally unusable. I wouldn't have put a bag of unopened dog food in there, but now it's all set to go in the kitchen and be clean and ready to be used. They were unsure about the color. They kind of bought it looking at chips online and stuff like that. And so once they see it dry on the cabinet, they can make a decision on what to do on the next coat. So anyway, that's the Hoosier Cabinet. And sorry it took so long. I wish I could have filmed all the little tidbits and everything, but it was stretched out for almost a year. So I was so busy, I really didn't have the time. So in any event, here it is. It's all set to go. Now we can get out of here and get on to another project. Thanks for watching.